Ladies and gentlemen, you are now listening to
Oh, you didn't know?
with Tony Reavis.
What up, everybody? If you don't know, I am Tony Reavis, and welcome back to Oh, You Didn't Know with me, Tony Reavis. We're back, baby. Episode 16. We're here another week. I'm so excited to be back with all of you. How you doing? Hope everyone had a killer week. Hope everybody's killing it in 2018. I know I'm excited. 2018's been off to a great start, and I'm ready to keep it moving. I'm excited for this week's episode because I'm deciding to do something a little different. All right. I don't have a typical guest, like a guest interview. I do have a guest, though, at the end of the podcast. If you go back a few episodes, someone asked me a question to ask my mom because he needed some advice. That was Dan the mailman, my good friend Danny. He asked us a question because he had a problem that had to do with some cookies. Some cookies he thought might have been left for him, but maybe not. And he needed answers on how to deal with this problem. And I asked my mom, we gave him a solution. Well, Dan the mailman is on the podcast, so don't miss it. He's going to explain the story. He's going to explain what happened. It's a funny story. You're not going to want to miss it. So catch that near the end of the podcast after my little solo segment that I'm going to do, which is going to be the meat and potatoes of this podcast. Is going to be my solo segment. What I'm going to do today on the podcast is dissect Dope Ass Day. The music video, how it came to be, the process of it, all that good stuff. Because I sat and I watched it for the first time in a really long time yesterday. And it just had me thinking, and I just want to talk about it. It's by far the most viewed thing that I've ever done. If you haven't seen it, pause this podcast, go to youtube.com/iamTonyReavis. You should be subscribed already, but go to there, watch the music video, Dope Ass Day. You'll see it. Watch it all. It's only, a couple minutes. Watch it so when I'm starting to talk about it, you're up to speed if you haven't seen it yet. So we're going to get there. All right. So we have Dan the mailman on. We're going to dissect Dope Ass Day. But before that, I'm going to get some things out of the way. First of all, a couple of shout outs because it's an awesome week for my buddies. So I just want to say, if you're listening to this on the day it comes out, which is Friday, January 19th, if you're listening to it on that day, make sure tonight, watch Jimmy Fallon. The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, because my good buddy Jeff Dye is doing stand-up on The Tonight Show tonight. It's his second time on the show. I'm so excited for him. Congratulations, buddy. You're awesome. You're hilarious. He's back on again to do some jokes, so you don't want to miss it. So watch it tonight. DVR, set your DVRs, do whatever you need to do, but don't watch it. That's Jeff Dye, who I'm on his YouTube channel doing Jeff and Tony Play, two-man Let's Play channel. We're having a lot of fun there. So if you haven't checked that out, definitely check that out as well. You can find that at youtube.com/JeffDye or in the description below. But check that out. Tonight Show, tonight. Jimmy Fallon, my buddy Jeff Dye doing some jokes. Proud of you, man. You're an inspiration. So definitely check that out. Second shout out. If you're a fan of Criminal Minds and you watched the new episode this week that came out on Wednesday, you would have saw a familiar face. That's right. Friend of the show. First guest on the Oh You Didn't Know podcast, Mr. Jess Weaver. Shout out to you, big man. Making his debut on national network TV on an episode of Criminal Minds. He was a homeless mugger. It was amazing to see. So I'm super proud of you, man. It's just the beginning for you, my friend. That's why I had you on the podcast first, before all these things started to happen, and when you're blowing up. You know what I mean? I told you it was going to happen. That's what this podcast is about. So if you saw Criminal Minds, or if you're a fan of the show, make sure you go watch this week's episode. That was Wednesday, January 17th. Jess Weaver on Criminal Minds. It's awesome. It's so cool to be seeing my friends do awesome stuff. You know what I mean? It's so cool. And just follow your dreams, guys. Follow your dreams. That's what this whole podcast is about. It's about a positive message of believing in yourself and doing what you want to do. And it's so inspiring to see, my friends doing so well, and keeps me moving. So I want to get that stuff out of the way. Congratulations to you guys, and so many other of my friends doing awesome stuff too. But, once you're on the Tonight Show or, National Network TV, then you get the shout out on the podcast. You know what I mean? And speaking of, I went on my Facebook this week, and I said, just a little post. I said, who should I have on my podcast in the future? Thinking, people would be like, oh, you should have this person. This person's awesome. Or maybe this person's awesome. Well, there was a lot of shameless self-promotion going on. All right. Which I don't have a problem with. I appreciate the chutzpah that you want to be on the podcast. A lot of people saying me. A lot of me's. A lot of people commenting me. I want to be on the podcast. That's great. Would love to have you on. I want everybody on. All right. I want to have a bevy, wide array of awesome guests. And I plan to have a lot of you on who did comment on there, who said me, put me on. Here's the thing. How many of you are actually listening to this podcast? Huh? How many? How many of you actually listen? Let's do a little test. Because I'm sure there's some of you that are listening, and I appreciate you so much, and I'd love to have you on. And this is going to be a fun little thing to talk about once, you are on the show. But we're going to do a little test, all right? Especially for you, Marty, because you come up on the podcast often. You've been on before, but to your credit, you're right. That was more about brother husbands and not you specifically, so we're going to have you on. Your sister was on, and we talked about it a little bit, and we're going to have you back on. And you're really pushing for it, and I appreciate the passion. But here's the thing. I'm going to put out a little code word. All I'm going to do is I'm going to say this code word, and all I want you to do, people who commented on my Facebook post who want to be on the podcast, we're going to see if you're really listening. Because what I want you to do is send me a message, a text message, if you have my phone number, or a Facebook message, whatever. Just send me a message with one word. Nothing else, no context, nothing else. Just one word. If you want to be on the podcast, if you've been commenting me, and you want to be on the podcast, but if you're not listening, I don't know if you got a shot. But if you are listening, send me a message with this one word. Corduroy. That's it. I'm not saying it again. I'm only saying it once. If you commented that you wanted to be on the podcast, send me that word in a message. Just one word to prove that you're one of the faithful, that you're listening. And I didn't even bury this message late in the podcast. You don't even have to get 10 minutes through this podcast to get the code word. That's a gift. I'm giving you a gift. All you have to do is listen about 8 minutes into this podcast so you can text me that word. And if you don't, see, I know who are the true supporters, who are really turning the wheels of this revolution. All right? We're going to find out. So if you want to be on the podcast and you commented me, send me a message with that code word, and we're going to find out. We're going to find out who the truest is. Anyway, get that out of the way. Just had to, I thought that was interesting when I posted it. I thought people would be, nominating others, but everyone was nominating themselves. So we'll find out. I'm curious to see next week on the podcast how many people I can truly say, sent me the code word. Anyways, we're going to dissect Dope Ass Day today. Okay? We're going to dissect Dope Ass Day. I'm very excited to do this. It's something that's near and dear to my heart. And if you don't know, now you know. No. I'm going to tell you what Dope Ass Day is. So back in the year 2015, I wanted to make some music, something I've always been passionate about, something I did throughout my career in school, doing some stuff there. But I was like, you know what, I usually would just take a beat, rap on it, if it was a pre-made beat or something, or like a mainstream song that I freestyle to or whatever. But I was like, you know what, I'm going to do an entire project top to bottom, with my hands on it. I'm going to create some beats. I'm going to write my own rhymes. I'm going to do the whole thing. And it was a comedy rap thing. So it was not just rap. It was very lighthearted comedy stuff. And one song on my EP, which is the So Grown EP, on iTunes and Spotify and all that stuff. So go listen to it right now. Make sure you download it and buy it. Love ya. But one song on that EP, the single, Dope Ass Day, I did not create. I actually had Antonio Fernandez on the podcast early on, and he is the producer of Dope Ass Day. He produced that beat. That's why it's the single, because it's the best beat. And he's actually working on new stuff for me for my next music project, which I can't wait to, keep working on. But, I was like, I have these ideas. I think it's fun. I think it's funny. And I heard that song and I asked him, I was like, hey, can I use this? I think it's fantastic. It brings a certain idea to my mind just by hearing the beat. And I wrote Dope Ass Day. And what Dope Ass Day is a day in the life of just a chill, dope, fun day where there's no problems. You don't have to work that day. You don't even have to work the next day, so you don't even have like those like Sunday blues of like, it's a day off, but you got to go back to work the next day. It's nothing like that. The direct deposit hit the night before, so you're chilling. It's the best day. It is a dope ass day. That's the idea of the song. And all my songs that I made on this EP, this one specifically, are tailored to music videos. Okay? It takes very active listening. So if you just listen to it, it's good. It's catchy. You bob your head, but you might miss some stuff because I'm telling a story. That's what it is. It's storytelling in rhyme, in rap. So it's very tailored to music videos, and I wish I could do all of them as music videos. That was the plan. It's just, it's expensive and not easy to do. But it's tailored to music videos, so I wanted to make this music video for sure, because this was the best song. Speaking of that, I knew it was going to be tough because I wanted to do it right. And I'm very proud of the outcome. Shout out to Darren Bush, Tilted Screens Media, for working with me and creating this music video with me from the beginning. But I knew it was going to be tough to do it the way I wanted to do it. I wanted to do it right, and I'm very, very proud of the way it turned out. But it took some cash. To do it right. You were renting equipment and all the good stuff to make it right. And I couldn't afford it. I'm a starving artist. I'm out here just trying to spread my message of positivity and believing in yourself and fun and just trying to create. But, I'm human and, I'm not rolling in the Benjis, so to speak. So I did a Kickstarter, or an Indiegogo is what I did, where I had a goal, a dollar amount, where if I made that much, I could do everything without paying anything out of pocket. I could rent all the equipment. I can feed all my crew. I could pay my crew. I could pay everyone. I could do it right, not paying anything out of pocket. If I hit that goal, it was nothing out of pocket. But Indiegogo allows you to take whatever money you get, even if you don't hit your goal, and still get that money. So I didn't hit my goal, but I still made enough to make it happen where I had to pay out of pocket. I had to pay for craft services myself. I had to pay for gas money myself. I had to, it came out of my pocket, but I was happy to do. But I did this Indiegogo, not expecting anything. And I was like, you know what? If it doesn't work out, then, it doesn't work out. I posted it. We worked on a video first because I didn't want to release the song until you saw the video, because it does take very active listening and it's tailored to a music video because you see exactly what I'm saying. That's the point of the video. It's not like a concept video. It's literally what I'm saying is what's happening on screen so you can follow along with the story. So I didn't even want to release the song. So only a few people had heard the song beforehand. So I was like, well, how can I get people to be on board with my vision if they don't even know the song? But that's the thing with media these days and entertainment. It's about the brand. People don't buy the music, people buy the brand. So I thought we can put out a trailer, not for the music video, but just explaining the Indiegogo, the campaign we are running that we're asking for donations for, and hopefully they see this video and think, wow, I see what he's trying to do. I see the branding. I see what kind of guy this is, what kind of message he has, and what kind of vibe this is. And I would love to see what he would do with this money to make the music video. That's what I was hoping for. Not expecting anything. So we do the Indiegogo. First day it comes out, I post it. Within 20 minutes, someone donated $50, which was mind-blowing. I never, I thought, I had a lot of friends and family. People would chip in 5, people would chip in 10, stuff like that. Well, the first one was $50. And it wasn't even like, it was someone like, I don't even think I really knew very close. And I was like, wow, that's so touching. And like, I was like, man, someone believes in this. And that made me feel good because I knew if I could do it and do it right, people would enjoy it. So the first kind of day goes by and I think I was up to a couple $100 already. And I was only looking for $2,000. So I was like, wow, well, on this pace, we'll be golden. You know what I mean? We can do this. And the donations kept trickling in from people, from family, from close friends, from people that I had met a couple of times. I did a Tide commercial, where I was a football player. And there's this guy that I met at the audition and we kind of chopped it up and hit it off there at the audition, and we both got cast. So we were hanging out all day at the shoot, and we even, I hitched a ride with him home, and he became a good friend of mine just from that day, but not very close. But he's a security guard. He's this big dude. He does security around Hollywood for the premieres and all this stuff. And I keep bumping into him in Hollywood, and his name's Joe. Shout out to you, Joe. And like he donated like $30. And I was like, wow, someone who doesn't even know me that well. We've met a handful of times and not even on like a close level, but he saw what I was doing and thought it would be cool. And he donated. It was stuff like that really started to get me. It started to touch me, and I was just like, you know what? This is going to happen one way or the other. Even if I don't make my goal, I'm going to make sure that we do this right, because there are people who believe in this. Even if we don't reach the full goal, there's people who believe in this. And long story short, the rest of the campaign went on. We didn't reach our goal, but we made a good amount of money. Just short of $1,400 of the $2,000 goal, which was mind-blowing. I wasn't expecting anything. And from that day on, I was like, all right, we're doing this. It's happening. So we started getting ready. We started to get the production going. The Indiegogo ended about 3 weeks before we were going to shoot. Luckily, we were able to shoot. We kind of went rogue, guerrilla style. Luckily, I was blessed to have a good friend, Alex Booty. Shout out to you, Booty. I miss you. Hope you're doing well, man. We haven't spoken in a while. And if you somehow hear this, hit me up. I love you, man. He's such a talented guy. He put out an EP, and I was lucky enough to be on a song with him that we did at school that like blew people away, and he put it on his EP. So go ahead and check that out. Alex Booty, Face to Face EP, #1 song. The first track on the album is The Devil Inside, featuring yours truly. It's not comedy. I just spit hot fire. So if you want to see me, if you want to hear me do something that's not like comedy rap, but like some serious stuff, and you've never heard it before, definitely check that out. The Devil Inside on Alex Booty's EP, Face to Face. Check it out. I like it a lot. It's one of my favorite verses I've ever written. But anyways, he had this awesome house he was renting with some friends. Shout out to you, Josh Collins, who lived there too. Santino. Josh actually helped me like mix some of the album and stuff like that too. So shout out to you, man. But he had this awesome house that we could film part of it at. We actually filmed like the first chunk where it's like I'm at home. I just used his home, and then we do a party scene at the end, and we filmed that there too. So that was awesome to have someone who was so generous to let me do that. Then there's a beach scene, and we just went rogue. We just went to the beach and just hoped we didn't get shut down. And then there's also a basketball scene, and we just went to this public basketball court early in the morning one day and, try to bang it out without getting shut down. The problem there was we got there, and there was a cop in the parking lot for like the first half hour, so we just had to chill and act like we were shooting hoops, wait for the cop to go away so that we could start shooting. But once he left, we got the shoot done, and it was great. But kind of taking it from the top, if you watch the video, I wake up in bed. Brent is my hype man. Brent's been on the podcast. Love you, buddy. He's like my hype man. He tries to wake me up. And I finally wake up, and I'm like, oh, another day, Little do I know it's going to be a dope-ass day. But the first part, we do this one shot where I run out of the bedroom, and I'm rapping at the camera, and it's kind of this one shot where I'm coming through a kitchen, I grab some cereal, I sit on the couch with the homies, we're watching Dragon Ball Z, and it's all this one long shot. And it was, took a few takes to kind of get it down and get the movement down and get the lens flare right. Genius work by Darren and Niklaus, working on that stuff. They had a vision for this as well, and I can't thank you guys enough for seeing my vision, and I could trust you guys enough in your vision, and we made an awesome video. But took all that, and Darren wanted to do it in slow motion. This first part. Well, let me tell you a little movie trick, guys. Especially doing a music video. If you do slow motion, the song speed can't change when you're watching it. So I might be moving in slow motion, but the song is going in normal speed. So how do you do that? You gotta double time the song when you're filming. So anytime we're in slow motion in the music video, which is often, the song is playing, for us that we hear in double speed. Because you gotta get twice as many frames in there to slow it down so it still fits the song pattern. So when I'm rapping, you're still seeing me rap the words you're hearing. So it's tricky. Well, that was about 8 bars in the house. And he wanted to do slow motion. So I was sprinting and trying to rap and sprint, and we couldn't get it, and it just didn't work, and it was okay. I like the way it is, the way we have it. But it was interesting to try to do that. And it's funny, there's going to be a story that comes back by the end of the video where slow motion, becomes a problem again. But we get that knocked out. We were going to film some other stuff that day, and sure enough, it's raining in Los Angeles. What are the odds? Probably the one day of rain we got in those 60 days before and after we filmed. But it started raining, so we couldn't do our outdoor shoots that day, so we kind of had to kill some time, and I was doing a party scene later that night, and I needed, extras and people to come through. And shout out to everybody who's in the video. There's a lot of you, so I can't, personally name you guys. But thank you so much for coming through and being in the party. If you're in the party, appreciate you guys so much. I hope you guys had fun. I had a blast, and I thank you guys for being there with me. But I was like, man, hopefully people are still going to come, because how am I going to do a party scene without any party goers? So I was nervous. But people started to trickle in, and we got the party scene done, and it was awesome. It was a blast. That's where we tried to do slow motion again, because there's a line I say where I'm at the party, I'm the life of the party. It's just one of those days where everything's coming up, Tony, everything's great. Everyone's loving me. Someone starts to beatbox, and I start rapping. That's the idea of the story. At this party, I'm rapping for all the people, and the crowd goes wild. And someone says, that's the dopest rap I've ever heard. That's the line. Well, the person who says that in the video, the party goer who sees me, who says that's the dopest rap I've ever heard, is my good friend Trey, better known as City James, an amazing, amazing artist. He's an amazing rapper, songwriter. He's incredible. Definitely check him out if you like hip hop. He's got man, he's so talented. He's like the next Kendrick Lamar. He's so good. So definitely check him out. But I was so lucky to have him in the video, and he agreed to do that line. So I felt like, I was like, man, I appreciate this so much. Just like, I know, it's not that big a deal probably, but like, I was like, oh man, I feel like this is like a big cosign to me. You know what I mean? Like, even though I'm the one that wrote it, and I'm like, hey, would you do this? And he's like, sure. It's still cool to have him in my video saying it. But he says, that's the dopest rap I've ever heard. And that's in slow motion. And it's not his song. This is not his song. The song's already kind of fast. I rap, pretty good tempo anyways. But we wanted slow motion for that moment. So it's double time. So he's got to say, "That's the dopest rap I've ever heard," in double time. So it was even twice as fast. And, he didn't know the line until he got there. And we're just like, "All right, film it, say it." And he's like, "Okay." So he's got to try to do this twice as fast as he normally would without even knowing it. And it took a little bit. It took a bit. It was hilarious. But dang it, he knocked it out. You can see it in the video. He's sitting there. He's sitting on a table. He's kind of got this prime spot in the back. And he's like, "That's the dopest rap I've ever heard." We get the slow motion shot. It kind of worked out. He had a cup in his hand and he kind of covers his mouth at a certain point when I think he little flubbed a line. But it worked out great. And Trey, I appreciate you for doing that. I can't wait to have you on the podcast one day. But that was fun. I had my buddy Victor dancing. He's an amazing dancer. It's just all the stars aligned. And the love I was receiving and the help I was getting from doing it, from doing the music video and having the people support and come through for the party and like being willing to be in the video like that, to dance like Victor and to say the line like City. David Hardy, shout out to you if you're listening. He came through on the basketball scene, and Ethan Hughes, basketball scene, and Kira Moon, who's my beach girl, because part of the story is I meet this beach girl. And, we hit it off at the beach. And, she's a beautiful young lady, and she agreed to be in the video. And there's some hilarious parts where she's feeding me grapes. And the funniest shot of the two funniest shots in the video, I think. Second is her rubbing suntan lotion on my belly. That's what I say. Nothing rubbing suntan lotion on my belly. And it's just a shot of me laying there, and she's just like rubbing copious amounts of suntan lotion, way too much suntan lotion all over my stomach. It's hilarious. As you can tell, if you don't know, when you see that, you know that this is not a serious thing. So when you say, "Tony's a rapper," weird. That's what kind of thing it is. It's like a comedy sketch. But my favorite shot, when we get to the beach, it's me and the beach girl. But Brent's my hype man. And he's in the video the whole time with me. He's my sidekick. He's rolling with me. We're like, well, we don't have anything for him to do. So he just started digging a hole because he was, waiting to do stuff. So he was just digging a hole, and someone ended up burying him in the sand while he was waiting to be on camera. Because he's, when I'm doing the hooks, he's with me doing the hooks and stuff like that. Well, I turn around from filming and I see him buried neck deep in the sand. And I'm like, that is hilarious. That's perfect. Because in the idea of the story, if he's with me at the beach, but now I'm hanging out with this girl, kind of a jerk move by me just to ditch him. But, that's what wingmen do. So what is he doing in the story when he's not third wheeling it, that's for sure. So we're like, you know what? This is what he's doing. He's digging a hole and burying himself in the sand. So you see me and the beach girl run off together, and you see him just sitting in the sand. He watches us walk away, and he's like, gives us a thumbs up. Like, "That's my boy. Way to go." It's hilarious. And just how that accident moment happened. You know what I mean? Like, that wasn't planned, and that stuff just happened. Another stuff, it's funny how stuff kept happening like that. Like, there's a line in the song when for the beginning of the third verse, I talk about a truck. Like, we roll up to the party in a truck. And I just said it because, like, the rhyme scheme, you know what I mean? I just, like, we don't need to be a truck. It could be, we could be in an Explorer, an SUV, but it's just, like, the way the rhyme scheme worked out. Well, sure enough, poor Darren, the director, got in a car wreck or something the week before, and he had a loaner car, which happened to be like a Ford F-150. It was crazy how it worked out. So we actually got to use that truck for the shoot. We're actually step out of the truck, heading to the party. It was just, manifest destiny. And that's kind of the thing, guys. It's just like speaking things into existence. I have, just over 2,000 views on that video. It came out on my birthday, 2016. Which was awesome. Such a great thing to do. So it's been, a year and a half that it's been out now, and it's got over 2,000 views, which is far and away my most popular video, and is amazing. And, that's nothing to write home about. That's not viral by any means. It's 2,000 of my friends who've watched it. People watch it multiple times, you know what I mean? So it's not like probably no one other than my friends and friends of friends So if I have a friend who shared it, maybe their friends watched it. That's all the people that are watching. So it's not viral by any means. But it is one of the most fulfilling things I've ever done because of the outcome. I love the video so much. It's something I'm very proud of. And I can't wait to be like an 80-year-old grandfather and my grandkids stumble upon this music video that their old grandpa made when he was in his 20s. I think it's going to be hilarious. And I'm so thankful that people supported me on that journey. I'm thankful that people were generous enough to donate to the video to make it happen, that people were generous with their time to help make it happen, the people that have watched it and shared it and enjoyed it, the feedback I got from it, the people that were sending me Snapchats of them listening to the song and enjoying the song, anyone who worked on it, anyone who watched it, anyone who donated. I could never thank you guys enough for that moment because that really taught me something. It was my biggest achievement when it comes to having a vision, wanting to do something, not knowing how. I've never done I produced this whole thing. I never did a music video or anything like that on this kind of scale. And seeing it through. And needing help and asking for help, which is always tough. I didn't want to do a Indiegogo campaign, but I knew I couldn't do the video without it. And you never know who's willing to help, who can see something in you and believe in you. And that's why whenever I have friends who are trying to produce albums or anything and they're doing crowdfunding, I always try to just, even if it's $1, I try to help as much as I can because, it goes a long way. And it was amazing. I tried to do crowdfunding for my play last Thanksgiving. It just didn't work out because that was a smaller thing where it wasn't something that a lot of people would get benefit to. I was doing the crowdfunding as a way to sell tickets, so it wasn't just donations. It was you donate and that's how you bought your ticket. But people who weren't going to be in the Seattle area who weren't be able to get to the show, I didn't ask them to donate. So it was just kind of like selling tickets. So it's tough to do. But it was a great experience. And I don't think if I didn't go for that, if I didn't just do it, regardless of the outcome, regardless of how many people have seen it, it didn't make me money. I paid more than I will ever make from it because I don't make money off of the video. I'm not monetized or anything like that. But the investment I made and the growth that I made from it was something I wanted to do, and I did it, regardless of how many people saw it. The people who did see it, who enjoyed it. The people who, when I run into them today, and, if we're not too close to each other, or we don't know each other too well, and they're like, hey, I hope you have a dope-ass day today. I love when that happens. That means so much to me when people do that. And I'm forever grateful that this thing happened. Because if that didn't happen, I don't think I would have had the guts to put on the play I put on last June in Hollywood, which was even a bigger stretch for me because it wasn't just like one shoot and it was done. It was producing, writing, starring, in this play and making it happen, not knowing how to do that and paying for that myself as well. And just like this vision, these visions I have and just trying to make them happen regardless of how many people show up, how many people see it. I learned so much from it. And at the end of the day, I'm so happy. Filming that music video is some of the happiest memories I have in the last few years and of my life. And same with the play, just doing it. And I try to stress that over and over and over again, that if you want something, if you want to do something, if you want to be someone, just do it, whatever it is. If you wake up tomorrow and you want to be a veterinarian, do it. If that's what's going to make you happy, do it. You could spend an entire lifetime just getting by. But you got to do what makes you happy. as big and as scary as it is, and if you focus on the journey of it as opposed to the outcome, you'll be much happier. Because the outcome is going to happen one way or the other. Of course, you have a direct influence on it to some degree, how hard you work, how much effort you put into that stuff. But at the end of the day, it's not up to me how many people end up seeing Dope Ass Day. You know what I mean? It's not up to me if that gets 1 million views tomorrow. It's not up to me. But what is up to me is that while I was doing it, while I was preparing for it, I put everything into it. And without so much help from all of you, I wouldn't have been able to do that. And that's what makes me forever grateful and just makes me so happy and keeps me moving. Times like that, being able to think back on it. And that's why, I was bored the other night. I couldn't sleep and I just watched it from beginning to end for the first time in a while. And it just brought all this back to me. Because it's just something that I did and I'm so proud of. I hope if you've seen it or you're about to watch it or whatever, that you enjoy, because that's what it was about. I did it to make you laugh. I did it to make you smile. I did it if you're having a rough day and you listen to it, you watch it, maybe that turns your rough day into a dope ass day. That's why I did it. That's why I wanted to do it. That's what I'm all about. And I hope you can get some enjoyment out of it. And even if one person enjoys it, Dope Ass Day is a success to me. So that's kind of my story. That's dissecting Dope Ass Day. I mean, I could go on and on and on and on about it for a while. Make sure you check it out. Check out the video. It's fun. It's fun. It's one song on a 6-song EP that I made called So Grown EP. You can find it on iTunes. Apple Music. If you have an Apple Music subscription, you can stream it. If you have Spotify, you can stream it. If you want to buy the EP, it's like $6 on iTunes. I don't swear. I don't, besides ass, I guess that's a swear word, but 6 songs. I don't swear. They're all storytelling, joke oriented, comedy oriented rap. First song is called So Grown because the idea of the EP is that it's different stages of my life and different things that happen to a person and to me and it's irony in itself. I'm so grown. That's the idea. But you hear all these songs and you realize I'm not. I'm still learning. The first song is called Grown Ass Man, and it's everything. I rap about. I just list off things that I think make me a grown man. I shop at Home Depot. I pay taxes. It's a joke, right? Except that stuff doesn't make you a man, but that's what the song's about. I actually did that song live. I think I've talked about this before, but I did that song live at an event, and the third verse, there's a bit. The entire verse is a bit where I'm like, yeah, I'm so grown that I have a trumpet solo on my song. So I put this awesome trumpet solo in there. And it's that's how grown I am. Another point. Check. I'm so grown that I have a trumpet solo on my song because I enjoy the finer things like jazz. Only a grown man would love jazz. That's the idea. And I'm like, all right, that's enough. Let me rap again. And as I start to try to rap again, the trumpet comes back in and cuts me off. That's the idea of the bit. And I was doing this live, and I was like, I wonder how this is going to play live because I got to act while I rap. I'm not just rapping a random song. I'm acting, I'm performing. It's almost like a stand-up routine, right? And apparently it went so well and I did it so well, the DJ was freaking out that he thought the track was messed up. The trumpet wasn't supposed to come back on. It was hilarious. So that's the first song. Grown Ass Man's hilarious. Next song, Worst Valentine's Day Ever. It's about I'm in love with this girl. The whole first verse, it's a 16-bar verse for 15 bars. I'm telling you how perfect she is, how much I love her, how great we are together. And the last bar of the verse, she breaks up with me. On Valentine's Day, worst Valentine's Day ever. Next verse, we fast forward. I'm in love with someone else. She's perfect as well. I want to ask her to move in with me because she seems super into me and seems like I'm the one. Last verse, she breaks up with me. Third verse, it's I'm giving up. I'm done. because I love so much and I just want someone to give that back to me, but it's just not going to happen. So I'm not going to waste my time. And then someone comes around who tells me they love me a little too soon. And this time I'm out of there. It's that classic misdirection. Another funny song. Then there's Dope Ass Day. There's a song called My Life in Second Grade. Hilarious. I thought it was hilarious. Who raps about being in second grade? That in itself is comedy to me, but it's about playing Crash Bandicoot and Pokemon cards and sleepover with your buddies. Like what? And the beat I made, I sampled the Rugrats theme song, the cartoon. I made the sounds. I made the beat from scratch, but I just know the song, that theme song, and I sample that theme song. I think it's hilarious. So that who makes a rap song about being in second grade? Honestly, rap is about like, oh, chains and gold watches and money and girls and cars. No, I rapped about second grade, Crash Bandicoot, and Charizard Pokemon card. So baller. Then the last song is called The Party, where it's this story where I go to get invited to this party. I don't want to go because I'm not a partier. And this is real life. I'm not a partier. I'm straight edge. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I've never done a drug. Nothing. So parties aren't, I'm not the best at parties because I don't party. I like to hang out, but I don't party. So I get to this party and everyone's like, hey, have a drink. I'm like, oh, no, I don't drink. And then they think I'm weird. That's like the first verse because that happens all the time. And people ask, well, why don't you drink? Why don't you drink? So I just make up answers every time, because I know the real reason and no one else needs to know. I just make up funny answers. Then the second verse, my buddy comes and we play beer pong, but he has to drink all the beer, which is real life. Shout out to you, Jess. He's always my partner and he'd always have to drink double. And then that's that. And then the third verse, this is why I want to do music videos for them all, because the third verse of Worst Valentine's Day, there's this clingy girl who says she loves me after a week. Well, I bring her back into this story where I go to the roof to get some fresh air, and who do I run into? That girl. And she's like, oh, look who it is. You fancy man, blah, blah, blah. And she's telling me off, and she's like, you haven't changed. And then she throws up on me because she's super drunk. And that's why I wanted to do music videos. And hey, it's never too late. I might still do music videos for these, where Worst Valentine's Day, I could have that video come out first so you can actually see this character. And then I bring her back in the party. I think it'd be hilarious. And you can see it's the same person. If you've listened to the album, you didn't realize that. It's the same person, which is hilarious. But that's the EP. Check it out if you're interested. It's funny. It's a good time. You can stream it. If you already have Apple Music, you don't got to pay a thing. You can stream it or on Spotify, or if you want to support, you can buy the album. It's even on SoundCloud, guys. I have it on a SoundCloud and I have it on Bandcamp for free. So you don't need to buy it. You know what I mean? Like, I just want people to listen to it if they want to listen to it. So it's available on the internet. It's out there if you want to listen. If you want to buy it and support, I love you and I appreciate it. But it's not a big deal. I'm not in it to make money at this point. So enjoy that. And, I took Dissecting Dope Ass Day and I kind of dissected the whole album kind of briefly, but it's been good to talk about. It's been good to kind of talk about and reminisce on these things. This was so long ago. And as I start to move forward into my next music project, it's going to be very different. So I kind of wanted to, memorialize this album and this music video as I kind of shift gears into a more serious thing. Because my next project that I'm working on, this is kind of the first time I'm going into detail about it. I've mentioned it before that I'm working on stuff, but here's kind of the concept and the idea, kind of breaking news. It's kind of similar to this podcast. Like I said, people don't buy for music. They don't buy, they buy for the brand, right? They want you for your brand. And I want my brand to be this positivity, this believing in yourself and this motivating thing and inspirational thing, because I'm inspired every day by the guests I have on, the people that I know, these amazing people I talk to. And, I have a job where I get to talk to people who are interested in the arts and who want to make a difference. And for me to have any input on their potential journey and inspiring them is a gift from God that I'm so blessed to have, because it fulfills me. It fuels me. And that's what I want this podcast to be about. That's why the same question is asked every guest at the end of their interview is, if you have any advice for someone who might be listening, who wants to follow a dream, but don't know how, or they don't think they can. Well, that's what this album's going to be about. It's for that person who's sitting there like, I would love to do this, but no, not me. I'm not good enough, or I can't do it. It's about believing in yourself. It's about knowing that you can make a difference no matter who you are. no matter your size, shape, color, doesn't matter. If you believe in something, you can do it. That's what I want this message to be about. That's what I want my brand to be about. And I'm working on some awesome music that's uplifting and inspiring. And I'm so excited to be working on it and sharing with you guys when the time comes. But that's kind of what it's going to be about. It's more serious. I'm stepping away from the comedy stuff when it comes to music. I'm still doing comedy stuff all the time. But for the music, you know, I'm moving into a more serious thing because it's what speaks to me. And I'm excited to do it. Excited to share it when the time comes. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. You know, this was a real talk. And I enjoyed it. This was one of my favorite episodes to make because I just could be real and talk about an awesome moment in my life and an awesome video. So once again, if you haven't seen it, check out Dope Ass Day at youtube.com/iamTonyReavis. Link in the description. Check it out. Hope you enjoy it. If you enjoy it, share it with your friends. Maybe they'll enjoy it. You know, maybe let's get it trending again. It's been about almost 2 years. Let's make sure that people are having a dope ass day again. 2018 should be the year that every day is a dope ass day. That's what I want. So watch the video. I'm going to play the song for you guys right now just because I got some time to kill before Dan the mailman is on to talk about his cookie conundrum that we went into a few weeks back. We're going to get some answers there. But before, just because I can, I'm going to play Dope Ass Day. So enjoy it. Here it is from the So Grown EP from yours truly, Tony Reavis. This is Dope Ass Day. Stay tuned.
Hey, get up. We gotta make some moves. Tony, get up. Come on, man, you gotta be going now. What the hell, dude? You gotta get up now. Come on. Get up.
Aye, damn, I'm up. Yes, indeedy. Wake up with some TV. Got my cookie crisp in the bowl. Come and see me. It's Saturday. I'm watching all my tunes.
Hey, check out Goku. He's killing Martian Boo.
It's time to get fresh. I better brush my teeth, but my homie's got a donut. Let me get a little piece. I'm finished with my feast, so it's time to lace them up. About to hoop on these punks in my Reebok pumps. We hit the court, you know just what I got. 16 for 48. Damn, dude, I shoot a lot. My shots broke, I still get boards, dude. White men can't jump, watch me as I soar, dude. Tied up, next point win. Shoot a look to my homie and he know just what it is. Wanna start from the baseline, going to the hoop. Lob City in the house, hit him with an alley-oop. Out with my crew, peeking with my friends. Damn, I'm having a dope ass day. Living it up, kick it with no end. Damn, I'm having a dope ass day. Out with my crew, peeking with my friends. Damn, I'm having a dope ass day. Living it up, kick it with no end. Damn, I'm having a dope ass day. It's 98 degrees, so you know we hit the beach. I scouted out a honey, looking sweeter than a peach. Skin shining in the sun, looking good enough to eat. So I post up right beside her, and it's time for us to meet. I spit a little game, we start to have some fun. Sheryl Crow is my name, cause I'm soaking up the sun. I grab the speakers and play High in Here by Nelly. Now I got a rubber suntan lotion on my belly. And we swimming, we living, we gigging, we chilling, we coolin'. Got a mission, I'm smitten, I'm grinning, I'm winning. No fooling, so we laying in the sand. And she tells me that I'm great. Then she opens up a cooler and starts feeding me some grapes. I think I'm in there like swimwear, time to tell her how I feel. I look her in the eye and I'm like, lady, what's the deal? She took out my phone, I finally got them digits. She told me about a party, that's where we can get to business. Out with my crew, peeking with my friends. Damn, I'm having a dope ass day. Living it up, kicking with no end. Damn, I'm having a dope ass day. Out with my crew, peeking with my friends. Damn, I'm having a dope ass day. Living it up, kicking with no end. Damn, I'm having a dope ass day. The sun is going down, so the party's going up. We Google map the Addy, then we're hopping in the truck. The whole crew's looking good. I got the fresh cut with my Air Force Ones and my plaid button up. We're kicking down the door, we make our presence known. The crowd goes wild, I'm feeling right at home. Everybody's dancing, they play my favorite song. I hit the middle of the circle, then I start to break them off. It's a good ass time, no drama to be had. Then I spill my homie's drink. Hey, yeah, that's my bad. But it's cool, he shrugs it off and starts giving me some dap. And he kicks a little beat so I can spit a little rap. People pulling out their phones, recording every word. And someone says,
That's the dopest rap I've ever heard.
I'm on cloud nine, can nothing kill my mood till I see my beach girl dancing on another dude. Damn. Out with my crew, peeking with my friends. Damn, I'm having a dope ass day. Living it up, kicking with no end. Damn, I'm having a dope ass day. Man, I really can't lie. Today was pretty great. And even though I got played, I still had a dope ass day today. Out with my crew, peeking with my friends. Damn, I'm having a dope ass day. Living it up, kicking with no end. Damn, I'm having a dope ass day. Out with my crew, peeking with my friends. Damn, I'm having a dope ass day. Living it up, kicking with no end. Damn, I'm having a dope ass day. All right, everybody. Some of you know there's been a mystery afoot the last couple weeks. Been talking to my mom about this mystery. I got my friend Dan the mailman here. What up, Dan?
Dan.
What up, Danny? Few episodes back, we talked about a little conundrum you were in on your route, a cookie conundrum, and and we finally have a conclusion of the story, and I'm very excited to hear it. Now, for those who don't know, we're gonna take it back a little bit, kind of go over what exactly happened and what the outcome was. So, to take you back, Dan the mailman here was on his route, and there was a package or a Tupperware full of cookies. So go ahead and kind of just walk us through what happened first.
All right. So this is I'm on like a walking loop. So, you know, I park my rig and I do one loop one way and go the other way. So I go up to this lady's house, and this is like the week of this might even be the day before Thanksgiving. It was a while ago. So get up to the mailbox, put their mail in, and, you know, I open it, and there's like a little Tupperware thing full of cookies, and I'm just like, I look at it, and it says like Happy Thanksgiving, and there's a note in there. I'm like, sweet, throw that in the bag, walk away. Because
that happens often, or like not often, but like people will leave you stuff.
Yeah. People leave me stuff all the time, especially around the holidays. And so just threw it in my bag and delivered mail like throughout the loop, so I have it in my bag, and, you know, I'm like, hey, maybe I'll just eat one of these cookies, and so I pull a cookie out and eat it in there. Like there, I'm just committed to those cookies are mine. And so get back in my rig, take them out, drive to the next spot, and then I realize I look at the note because, you know, I thought they wrote me a note. I should probably read it, you know. So I read it, and it says on the outside, like, oh, Happy Thanksgiving from, and then it says, like, your neighborhood pastor or something like that. And I'm like, uh-oh.
Oh, my God.
I'm like, I know this lady. This is like a sweet old lady, like a very sweet old lady. Like, after Halloween, she, like, gave me the rest of her Halloween candy.
Oh,
like,
my gosh.
So, like, I expected it to be for me. I'm like, I think I screwed up here. And I was, like, kind of panicking, so I'm like, dang it, I really hope they weren't expecting these cookies, and I didn't know what to do. So I was like laughing and panicking at the same time. And like, this is right about the time I'm listening to your podcast. I'm like, this would be a perfect question for Mama Reavis.
Yeah.
So that's why I text you. And so I just, you know, I took them home with me and like threw them on the counter. And like, this is the day before Thanksgiving, so I don't work for a couple days.
Yeah. And
Kaylee, my fiance, comes home. She's like, "Oh, someone give you cookies?" I'm like,
Debatable.
Yeah. So like, she read the note. There's like, so there was a huge, like, the paper that was in there was like a whole biblical verse. So it made me feel even worse.
Yeah, there's so many layers to this that we didn't know about until now.
Right. And so like, I told her about it, and she just like, she didn't give me any advice. She's just like, you're an idiot. So that's the beginning part.
All right. So then we took it I took the information I had, brought it to Mama Reavis. We came up with a solution that we thought would work to kind of return the Tupperware to the old lady who we thought the cookies were from. And, worst comes to worst, explain the story and hope to get a laugh out of it from her. So that's what we told you to do. And now, finally, ready to get the answer of what actually happened.
Okay. Super not that exciting, and my plan didn't go as well as I thought it would. I mean, it just kind of shoved it aside eventually, but I took the Tupperware with me to return it. So after I started working, knocking the door, or I was gonna knock on the door and be like, just play the dumb card, like, oh, those cookies were delicious, thank you, here's your Tupperware, and maybe you should be like, But I didn't see her for a whole week, and after a while, I just got tired of staring at this Tupperware, and I'm like, you know what? we're just gonna pretend like nothing happened. and the thing is, I even told Kaylee, I was like, I just really need to give her back this Tupperware, and then because I'm not very sophisticated, she's like, that's not really Tupperware. It's like one of those Ziploc plastic cheap things you can put the top on,
yeah.
like where you get your deli sandwiches. It's not even Tupperware.
Right.
So I was super stressing about that. But yeah. But yeah, I've seen her a few times since then, and actually, it's pretty funny. Christmas time, same situation. Something else in her mailbox, and I even pulled it out of the mailbox. I was like, wait, I've been here before.
Was there more cookies?
No, it was like candy canes or something. And I actually took the time to read the note, and I was like, stuff this back in the box, walk away. If you're not a mailman, don't be messing with the mailboxes.
Yeah.
Uncharted territory.
That's a dangerous game.
I use that to justify myself, to make myself feel better. But those cookies were super good.
I know. Now you might never get them again.
Yeah. Right. I did get a lot of... She didn't give me anything for Christmas. I was pretty bummed about. But, it's not like she made them for me. But
yeah, now you just got to be on the lookout for when the pastor delivers more goodies to get in there before she can.
Right. And
so you can steal them.
So, and I always make an effort to someone gives me something to write a thank you note, right, and sign it, Mailman Dan.
That's right. Mailman Dan's a good man.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Well, mystery solved, kind of. It's just put to rest, at least. If not solved, at least put to rest.
Yeah. Every time I go to her mailbox, I'm like, all right, get this mail out of here and go.
Just get out of there before there's a scene. Well, all right. Well,
another thing, it's pretty, she's one of those old ladies. Every time I see her, she always tells me the same thing. She's like, oh, I had this person that I'm related to work for the post office for years. Do you know him? And I'm like, no, there's mailmen everywhere.
Yeah.
But she's told me that 10 times.
It's the same story over and over.
Yeah. So it's maybe, she wanted me to have those cookies.
Yeah, she wouldn't have. Yeah, she wouldn't even know better, anyways. You know what is funny? You probably could have went up to her and said, "Thanks for the cookies," and she would have just believed that she sent you cookies.
That's true. Very true.
And the crisis would have been averted because she would have just been like, "Oh, yeah, you're welcome," and then she would have felt better about herself. You would have felt better, and the whole thing would have been done.
Right. But no, things happen.
All right. Well,
Explainable.
I'm looking forward to the next story because I might have to have you back if something else happens. You keep me posted.
I'll let you know. Sorry so long to get back at you.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
After the Christmas break, I didn't have any "Oh, you didn't know" episodes, and I was like, oh, what's this guy's deal?
Yeah, it was a busy time, but we're back, and
glad to hear that voice.
That's right. Anything that happens,
Yeah.
We want to hear it on the podcast, but thanks for coming on, Dan. Dan the mailman.
Yeah, no problem. Don't
Close.
forget to mention that I'm the championship victor. You forgot that part.
Yeah. Congratulations. Welcome to the club.
Thanks, guys. Whatever, you have an asterisk, and I'll let you explain that to your listeners.
Whoa, but then, even so, I won the next year.
Oh, okay.
Back to back.
Fair
Don't
enough.
you forget.
Hey, it's what have you done for me recently?
That's all right. Hey, this is the first year I haven't made the playoffs in like 7 years, so. Anyways, all right, league champion, Dan the mailman.
All right.
Until next time.
All right. Thanks for having me on. Go Birds.
Yeah, good luck this weekend, Eagles fan. You're going to need it.
I know.
Later.
Oh, you didn't know?
All right, everybody, that's going to do it for us this week on the Oh, You Didn't Know podcast, episode 16. What a great episode. We dissected Dope Ass Day, something near and dear to my heart. Hope you enjoyed that. Shout out again to Dan the man, Dan the mailman, that is, for coming on the podcast, telling his story. I want to have him back. I want more stories from the road, and I want Dan the mailman to return in the future. So stay tuned for that. But that's another week in the books. So make sure you guys are staying tuned and keeping it locked on all my social medias and different media platforms like Instagram and Twitter at iamTonyReavis, but also at youtube.com/iamTonyReavis. You need to subscribe because I'm bringing you awesome stuff. I didn't talk about it before, but I'm talking about it in the outro. All right, I got awesome gaming videos that I've been having so much fun with. They're more, they're happening more often. I slipped up at the end of 2017, but 2018, we're killing it. So you don't want to miss it. It's a blast. I'm live streaming on there too, so you want to subscribe. You don't want to miss it, so do it. Also, if you're listening to this on iTunes, you can also subscribe, rate and review, leave me a 5 stars. If you want to listen on SoundCloud, that's great too. SoundCloud.com/OYDK Podcast. Subscribe on there too, so you never miss an episode, people. And you're not going to want to miss an episode because next week is going to be a great one. I might have a guest. I might not. Is it going to be The Rock? Is it going to be someone else? You'll have to stay tuned and find out. But one thing I can tell you for sure is next week is the return of Mama Reavis. She's feeling better. She probably could have been on this time, but scheduling didn't work out. This is, I'm getting it out kind of late. But next week, Mama's back, and we're going to talk to her. So send me your questions. If you got some questions for me, send them to me on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. You know what I mean? Leave them in the comments of this video. Do what you got to do, and I'll answer your questions. I'll send them to Mom. We'll talk about them. You'll get your advice, and, she'll set your life straight. She'll get you on the right path if you're falling off. So don't miss it. Mama's back next episode. Can't wait. But thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you guys for all the support and love. You're the reason I do this. There might be one person listening. There might be 5. There might be 5 million. It makes no difference to me. If you're listening to this right now, thank you. Thank you for everything. I love you so much. I can't wait to keep bringing you more content, so stay tuned. We'll see you next week. All right? And remember, if you don't know, now you know. I am Tony Reavis. I'm out.